Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of 4th and 62. With me, as always.
Have we done?
What was that?
How many? What number are we?
This is 19. Imagine.
We have our 20th anniversary coming up.
Yeah. With me, as always, is cousin Stephen and Coach
Greetings,
Bob,
everybody.
adorned in his Red Sox regalia today.
Opening day, hope springs eternal.
And guys, if you'll let me indulge, we're going to start off today's show with a bit of a shout out. And Stephen will like this because the shout out goes to Stephen's mother, my Aunt Ethel, who yesterday turned 96 years old. Happy birthday, Auntie Ethel.
Love you, Mom.
What was that?
Hi, Mom.
I said, love you, Mom.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for indulging me.
I understand
Ethel,
she's our number one fan.
she is our number one fan.
She's a loyal fan.
She is the only one we have. And Stephen sends her religiously. He sends her the link, and she watches us and critiques us, critiques Stephen, critiques me, and critiques you, Bob, but you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. I'm
That's all right.
sure it's all good.
But Aunt Ethel, happy birthday, and many, many more.
Happy birthday, Aunt Ethel.
So let's get right into it. Here we go. Get right into it. We'll talk a little bracketology, a little men's NCAA hoops. We won't talk women yet because Bob's going to take over the show when we do. So I thought Auburn is the number one seed. Stephen, you good with that?
I absolutely 100%.
That's what I thought.
Now, you know, for all our fans out there, you know that these gentlemen don't know that colleges play any sports. So they're just pulling our leg here.
Yes. And what we should announce to everybody, let everybody know, is that Coach Bob here is our resident maven on all things college sports. Doesn't matter whether it's football, curling, tennis, it doesn't matter. Bob knows all about college sports. He's very disappointed in his binky Ohio State. Isn't that good on the men's side, but is better on the women's side of the hoops bracketology.
Seeded number 4 in their region.
So, the other thing I put here is number one seed. Overall number one seed is Auburn, which we already mentioned. Bruce Pearl, Sharon, Mass High School, class of 1978. So it's a local guy leading a bunch of Southern kids, and he arguably has the best team in the country.
I think you should say
maybe.
well paid Southern kids.
Well,
Yeah. All right, now Bruce can legally pay his players.
yes.
Before, I got him in a little bit of hot water, but what are you going to do?
Do you think the kids
Right.
go into the coach's office and say, I want a raise?
I'm sure they do.
You think so?
I'm sure. Either that or they go into the portal.
Yeah, they go into the portal
Yeah.
and they'll play for somebody else.
Sure. I'm sure the agent was in there for quite a while.
Absolutely. That's why they all have GMs now,
Okay.
just like the pros.
Yeah.
All right. So,
So 1 minute,
no, go ahead.
bracketology's on the list here.
Yep.
Did you know, I'm sure you all know, that there has never, ever been a perfect bracket in the many years that they've been doing this?
There's never been a perfect bracket.
Never been a perfect bracket.
Well, I am proud to say
yeah,
that I have continued that tradition.
we all have. we lost the first game.
We all picked Louisville
Right.
to beat Creighton, and
and
Creighton beat Louisville.
they bite them.
So our brackets are gone, but
Yeah, but no, hope springs eternal because it all depends on who you've got in the Final Four or in the final game.
right.
That's the big. Anyhow,
Can I hit this now?
no, the closest anyone's ever come to a perfect bracket. Anybody know the answer to that?
Yeah, it was cousin Stephen 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
close. 2019.
Oh,
A guy from Ohio, the Ohio.
from the Ohio.
Yeah. was perfect going into the Sweet 16.
What happened?
He lost. And in 2014, Warren Buffett
Yep.
of Berkshire Hathaway,
Sure. I know who Warren Buffett is.
right, he offered to all his employees $1 billion if anybody had a perfect bracket.
I would have made it up.
He's he's still waiting to pay that off.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Okay.
sure.
Anyhow,
Okay, so I'm going to hit it now.
what about the
We're going to
women?
go on to the women.
Okay.
There we go. And now we move on to the NCAA women's hoops. And I put on my notes that I sent to these gentlemen, I put crickets because that's what I heard.
No.
So, and
No.
but typical Bob is going to correct me.
No, the women's tournament has been coming on strong.
I agree with that 100%.
Then when Caitlin Clark came out and Angel Reese and a bunch of other players,
Yeah,
it exploded.
I agree
Okay?
with that. Yeah.
And even the talking heads on ESPN say the women's tournament last year
Was better than
was
the-
much, much better than the men.
I agree. It was more compelling. It was.
And they're agreeing that right now it's going to be even potentially even better.
Right.
Okay. So,
I don't know. From my neck of the woods, the women's bracket was always been very special because, UConn.
Yeah.
About them?
oh, yeah. Yep. Gino's got the,
And they've been doing it for years and years.
yeah, and they got Paige Buckers is what is like the Caitlin Clark of this year.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
But
She's
and
playing that girl from SC who's really coming on strong. Her name escapes me, but I'll
I don't
find
know who you're talking.
Oh, yeah, you do. When I
Don
say that.
Staley is a coach, right?
Who?
Don Staley is she?
No,
still
that's
a coach?
Southern.
Yes.
That's Southern. That's Southern.
Yes.
That's South Carolina.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what I thought you were talking about. See, I get all mixed up.
Oh, I was talking about.
And Angel Reese is at McDonald's or Burger King. She's
Yeah.
at one of the two.
She does have a burger named after her
At-
for a limited supply.
At McDonald's, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, good for her. And Caitlin Clark, Coach Bob, you didn't want to talk about Angel Reese because of LSU, because of LSU's coach.
Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with them.
You don't like her.
No. She had Angel.
She doesn't
Reese-
dress the part.
No. Yeah. She dresses like a clown. Juju Watkins.
Oh, Juju Watkins. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So that should be very intriguing.
I have no idea. As long as it's not Juju Smith-Schuster, we're okay. So, so anything else?
Hurry, please hit the buzzer. Hurry.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
Well,
I
you got
hit the
more, Bob?
buzzer.
You took
Bob,
Caitlin
you got more?
Clark to task. And you had Angel Reese with the burger. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Well,
I was fully prepared.
I thought the next thing we'd talk about would be the Patriots.
Okay.
And I thought it was very interesting that everybody's looking, especially Coach Bob, our resident offensive line coach,
Yep.
looking at offense. And Mike Vrabel pulled the deke of the century, and he went and strengthened his defense with all the moves. The only thing which I hope happens today, Thursday, March 20th, is Stephon Diggs is in Foxborough for a visit.
Yes, he is.
I just hope they need some type of wide receiver. I hope he's the one. He's a big ego.
Yeah.
He's coming off an injury.
Yep. Yeah, he's coming off an injury. It's perfect.
Not-
He has a big ego.
yeah.
He's coming off an injury. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. This is his first visit, by the way, according to the Patriots website.
Yep.
First team he's looking at.
Well,
He probably figures that, here I am. I'm going to save your butts.
but getting back to Vrabel, he signed Milton Williams, arguably the best free agent that there was out there.
Yep.
Offense, defense, doesn't matter. He signed the linebacker, the kid from Oakland, Robert something.
Yeah.
He signed Jack Givens, who played for him in Tennessee, which, that's kind of a no-brainer. But they haven't really signed an offensive lineman.
Well,
Steven,
I think
don't
they
look
signed an
perplexed.
offensive lineman who was
they did.
the worst offensive lineman available.
Well, again, I'll use the same word. Perfect.
No, they got a Viking center, Garrett Bradbury.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and then they've got the tackle from. Granted, he played for the Jets, so that's not a big deal. But
Moses Malone.
I I think they're going to be fine.
Morgan Moses.
Like Stephen
Diggs.
Diggs, he does have a big ego and a big mouth. So
They didn't want a big contract.
of course he will, because he thinks he's better than he is.
Well, that's all right.
But
Well, you know what? Reading Ben Volen earlier this week, he said the Patriots were leery on signing a veteran free agent wide receiver because they thought he would do damage to Drake May.
what?
But that's what I said. I said, Drake May's not like a light bulb. He's not going to shatter.
Yeah.
But
What was that logic?
that's why they didn't sign him. And then today they bring in Stephon Diggs, which
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody's going to rip him, it's going to
maybe
be
he was,
that guy.
yeah, maybe he was just waiting. I don't know. But
That's
you
because
know,
Baker
I
got.
don't want him.
you don't want Stephon Diggs?
No.
Okay.
No, for the
Steven
reasons
doesn't
Bob
want
said, and he's coming off an injury.
Right.
So,
Right. And
Get
I
him.
think my boy Polk is going to. You mark my words.
Okay.
He's going to be
All right.
comeback player of the year.
Well,
I,
that'll
I-
be a
I
hell
like
of a
your faith.
comeback.
Right. All he's going to do is catch 5 balls.
That's right. You're right. You can do that in the first quarter,
There you go.
the first game.
Not to mention Baker.
And Stephen, you and I talked about this last night, and I didn't put this on my notes, but trading Joe Milton now seems like a foregone conclusion
Why?
because they can get a third-round pick for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You
But
know?
Well, they're not going to trade him for anything less than a third.
but
Hopefully not.
they signed some quarterback off the scrap heap.
Josh,
Yeah, I can't remember.
I forget his
But
last
yeah,
name.
but
Yeah.
so what they need is what they want is another Brissett, a body to
Yes.
put in there in case
Yep.
May goes down.
Case May gets hurt. Yep.
Right. But I don't know. Okay. I mean, I
Well-
like Milton. Why?
I liked him too. I know, but
You can only have one quarterback at a time. So,
Right,
what are you going to do?
right.
Yep.
But you've got him. You got both of these guys under control for their rookie contract term, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. You think you'll have a quarterback controversy if May gets started off on a slow start?
no.
Only from the fans. No. The coaching staff is not going to bring
No,
in
I
Milton
think
over
he's
May.
their guy, regardless.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to a fan today, and he says he doesn't like May at all. Not at all. He says he
That's
does.
a fan.
Yeah, he just doesn't have quote it. You get down into crunch time, and you can see he does something dumb. I said, wait a minute, are you comparing him to the GOAT? It's not fair to compare the first year kid,
right
To
Tom
the GOAT.
Brady, to the greatest of all.
right? I mean,
Yep.
no, I'm not. Yeah, bullshit. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I'm going to get thrown out of here again.
Gonna get
Okay, hit the buzzer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Now we're down to the Bruins.
I didn't hear it at all.
The
So-
Bruins.
So our friend, the esteemed Kevin Paul DuPont, wrote as I'll use Bob's term, a scathing article
Yep.
about the Bruins management,
Right. It said, "Will
not about the players.
The title was, "Will Bruins ownership do anything about this mess?"
And it is a mess.
Yeah.
I think I think it had to start with this. It had to start with Sweeney and Neely saying, okay, let's start over. I just don't know if they have enough to start with.
Yeah, I mean, they got booed off the ice against the Lightning.
Right.
And they had something they've never done in 60 years. Got shut out.
0 shots on goal.
Zero shots on goal in the second period.
I know. It was,
21-0.
it was bad.
They said,
You know, if I had one criticism of them, it would be that they don't seem to be good at picking players in the draft or trade or free agents.
Sounds like
And
the
obviously
Patriots.
That's like their job.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
so except for the couple years ago when they brought in all those players to hopefully win the Stanley Cup after their record-setting year, they've had really poor results, free agents drafts, and like I said, that's what their job is to assess talent.
Yep. And to build a team. No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it's been deplorable. It's been really bad.
Yeah.
And Steven, I know as a resident Bruins watcher, because if it's on, I'll watch it. But if the channel isn't on there, I won't bother.
You know, and nobody can say that the owners interfere with the hockey people.
No, you're right.
Because
You
Jeremy
leave 'em alone.
Jacobs has a history of letting the hockey people do what they do.
Leave them alone.
Yep, they're the professionals, he says. And what he does, though, is collect and controls the ticket prices and the concessions.
Yep.
That's where he makes his money. You know, lousy team, bump up the tickets 5%.
You know, I used to work for a guy that had one of my many jobs that he worked for Jeremy Jacobs in Buffalo.
Ah.
And I said, what was he like? He said, I'll only tell you this. He'd sell his mother for a nickel.
Oh, it doesn't think much
"Ooh."
of mom.
Well,
Don't listen to that, Mom. John was just kidding.
oh, Auntie Ethel, that wasn't for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, so and this guy was, you know, I just remember that was the nicest thing he said about he worked 2 years for, it was sports service in the day. I don't know if it is anymore. But that's neither here nor there. All right, I'm going to hit the buzzer one more time.
Okay. Maybe it's playing.
Pete, I
maybe
hope
it's
you
not.
hear that because we don't.
We're going to do the Celtics and give.
Yeah, I think we should
and not
do
talk
this.
about the boys, the Red Sox that are coming up here.
All right, we'll talk about the Celtics real quick.
Okay.
Can the Celtics beat the Cavs in a 7-game series?
I've said it before. I said I think they can.
Okay.
If they come to play,
Okay.
especially your second bullet guy.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Is he the next LeBron? Coach Bob doesn't think so.
Yeah. You know.
Neither does cousin Steven.
Neither
No.
does cousin Steven.
I mean, LeBron James. I mean, that's the mountaintop, man.
Well,
Yeah, he's right up there. Now you can, it's like Ford and Chevy. You got James or you got Jordan. You know, who's the better?
And Bill Russell. I'm
And
I'm
Bill
including
Russell,
Bill Russell.
Bob Cousy, the old-time Celtics. Come on.
Bill
Wilt.
Russell. Bill Russell.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay. I put Brad Stevens here, genius. Yeah, I think we'll all agree he is. Derek White just continues to amaze me, how he plays on both ends of the court. And the new owners, we found out today that the Grossbeck family took the bid from
Chisholm.
William Chisholm, Bill Chisholm, the guy that owns
Symphony Technology Group.
Technology in Gloucester. Much to the dismay of Steve Pagliuca. Say that 3 times fast.
Right.
But this is a stay tuned. Wait till next week.
Now we heard from Oz number 3 up there, Jack, that it's not a full price
official.
bid, not official yet, and Pagliuca or whatever is still in the running.
Okay. So
They're waiting for a physical.
yeah, yes. a forensic accounting physical, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so for the last 4.5 minutes, let's talk a little bit about the Red Sox. The Red Sox did what we thought they were going to do. They named Garrett Crochet the opening day starter, but they have not yet given Garrett Crochet an extension.
And he says he doesn't want to talk about it once the season starts.
Well, like everybody else.
Right.
So the Red Sox are obviously waiting for Garrett Crochet to have Tommy John surgery. So
He's coming off of something.
Rafael Devers thought twice, and Big Poppy talked to him, and he's now the DH. Wow.
Poppy and Talk.
Talk about shocking news there.
Cora and Poppy talked with him. They took his thumb out of his mouth and said, "Go play."
Yeah,
Right.
thank God we don't have to talk about that anymore.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
That's right.
And Masataka Yoshida, what will happen to him?
He's on.
Bob
he's on
said
the
it
IL.
before we went on air today that he's on the injured list,
Yep.
which means that and Alex Cora said what he's the best hitter they
Best
got.
hitter we have. That's why
Yeah.
we're taking. Yeah, that's the reason he had surgery.
Too bad he can't play the field.
He wanted to play the teal, but he wants to contribute. I think he'll be okay.
Okay. Well,
I can see the Red Sox trading him for some, prospect or two or middle reliever, and they'll end up paying his salary to the team they trade him to.
Could be.
I agree with that.
Could be.
I
Could be a
think that could happen.
bag of bats.
Back back.
Yeah, they get something, but they're going to pay for it.
Gentlemen, do you realize that the Major League season has already started?
Yeah, it started in Japan, right?
On the 18th, Dodgers Cubs.
That's unbelievable.
The Cubs are already 2 games under 500. And Owatani is now the MVP.
So let me ask you guys this. Are the Dodgers now what the Yankees were 20 years ago?
Ooh,
Easily.
good question. Good question.
Yes.
Thank you.
But nobody hates the Dodgers like they hated the
they
Yankees.
hated the Yankees.
Right. The Yankees.
Well, that's because of the Yankees
George
Red
Sta-
Sox thing.
yeah, George Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now, our boys, the Sox, open up on the road
In Texas.
in Texas
Yep.
on the 27th.
Yep.
They play 4 games, 3 games in Baltimore, and then get your tickets now. Might be a little chilly, the home opener, April 4th against the Cardinals.
I'm not going any. Are you going, Stephen?
I'm actually going to a game in April. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going, thanks to John, I'm going.
I'm taking somebody who's never been to a game before, but yeah. I'm
Oh, that's
going.
nice. Did you get him or her tickets behind a pole?
Nope. I'm sitting in John's seats, believe it or not.
Which
Oh.
one? Section 25? The box seats?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Those are my old seats. I don't own them anymore.
Right.
So we have a minute left, and we ran through this entire list, which is the epitome of the lightning round. We wish.
So let me ask you a quick question. Are the Red Sox going to make the playoffs? Yes or no?
I say no. You got
Okay,
all
I'll
your
say
Red
yes.
Sox stuff on.
Typical Red Sox guy. I say yes.
How about
Oh
you?
boy. I say
Steve?
yes.
You think they're going to make the playoffs?
Yes, I do.
Hope
Okay.
springs eternal at the beginning of every season.
Right.
Red Sox
Well,
will
not every
rise
season.
again.
The past 5 seasons, mostly they weren't making the playoffs. That was clear.
But we got some pitching, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Whitlock's he's gonna be in the bullpen, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We got Bregman's
old team is coming to town
Yep.
for opening day. The Cardinals. He's from the Cardinals, right?
No, Houston.
Oh, Houston. I'm sorry, my
You're
bad.
thinking of Arenado.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get him.
No. We got Bregman.
Oh, he'll do.
So, on that note, we'll end yet another show of 4th and 62. Thanks to my cohorts here, Cousin Stephen and Coach Bob, Mr. Red Sox himself,
And Aunt Ethel.
and happy birthday again
All right.
to Auntie Ethel. And we
If we
will
keep talking about it, she's going to have another birthday soon.
Auntie Ethel, that was your son Stephen talking
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
So listen, everybody have a great couple of weeks. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. We'll be right up against the NFL draft, right?
Yeah.
So,
And we may have a guest.
possibly.
Can't let it out of the
possibly.
bag. You know.
Yeah, no.
We don't want to look like
top
dummies
secret.
if he doesn't show.
Top secret. Yes. Thank you.
It's Mike Vrabel, right?
It's Mike Vrabel. Yes.
Stefan Diggs.
Good thought.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time on 4th and 62.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, another great show.